End mills with market-leading performance at market-beating prices. That's APX, our new line of high-performance end mills at HaasTooling.com. Now, we've been selling end mills for years now, and our tools are well known for excellent performance at prices that stretch your tooling budget farther. These APX end mills promise that same kind of return, just at the high end of the performance scale. We have 6 different types of end mills in the current APX lineup. 4 tools meant for cutting steel and other ferrous alloys, and 2 aimed at cutting aluminum. We'll zero in on each specific tool in a minute here, but first, let's check the fundamentals that allow these tools to cut with the best of them. Everything starts with premium grade carbide, with grain sizes between 0.5 and 0.8 microns. Depending on whether the tools are intended for roughing or finishing, the carbide is specified to give the best combination of hardness, structural consistency, and impact resistance. Anytime you're cutting aggressively, vibration and chatter can be an issue. Variable pitch geometry ensures the flutes are cutting just slightly out of phase, mitigating the buildup of unwanted harmonics that can lead to chatter in the cut. And just as variable pitch influences harmonics, these tools also use specific helix angles to match chip evacuation and cutting loads with the tool's intended type of cutting. And what about where the cutting edge enters the workpiece? Here we find edge preparation and relief angles that are engineered and ground to cut precisely but stay sharp under heavy loads. And last, but certainly not least, there are 2 high-performance coatings for our ferrous cutting tools. Our HEHM, HEPM, and HSPM2 end mills all feature a hybrid aluminum chromium nitride coating, and the HTM2 end mills use an aluminum titanium nitride coating. Both of these coatings are super hard, very slippery, and extremely resistant to heat generated in the cut. That said, the aluminum titanium nitride coating is just a little harder, while the aluminum chromium nitride coating has a slightly lower coefficient of friction and a higher hot hardness limit. Both coatings are amongst the highest performing in the industry. Those are some of the important attributes that form the functional baseline for these super productive tools. Now, let's look at each tool to see where they fit into the matrix of materials and cutting modes you're likely to face. We'll start off with our steel cutting tools first, and what might be our most versatile end mill, the HSPM2. This is basically our highest performing general purpose end mill. 4 flutes, premium micrograin carbide, both multi-helix and variable pitch geometry to mitigate chatter, and special edge treatment to further reduce vibration during heavy cutting. This end mill is aimed primarily at cutting steels, stainless steels, and cast iron. And you can start milling where you want with the center cutting grind and use this tool for roughing, slotting, and high-speed machining, where the aluminum chromium nitride coating will protect the cutter from abrasion and high heat conditions. Next up, we've got another multi-purpose end mill, well suited to work on stainless and high-temp alloys. The HTM2 5-flute end mill is center cutting, has variable pitch, and a 38-degree helix angle to handle those tough materials, as well as softer steels and cast iron. And whether you're doing heavy roughing or torcoidal HSM, the super hard heat-resistant aluminum titanium nitride coating gives you a tool that just doesn't stop when the going gets hot. Our next 2 end mills are more specialized in their focus. This is our HEPM 6-flute end mill that is designed specifically for high-speed torcoidal milling, tougher materials up to 40 Rockwell C. Premium micrograin carbide, of course, with variable pitch flute spacing and a high 45-degree helix angle to pull chips away from the cut and reduce spindle loads on these harder materials. And you can see here along the flutes, this tool has these chip splitters. That means when you're machining at larger depths of cut, the chips are broken into pieces so they are more easily moved out of the way of the cutting path. With the slippery aluminum chromium nitride coating protecting the tool, you'll get productive, high-speed milling in harder steels, tough stainless, irons, and even high-temp alloys. This is high material removal rate milling that can live with the pressure. The HEHM end mill is also a 6-flute tool. designed for HSM turquoise tool pass, but this time with lighter radial cuts and deep axial depth of cut at high feed rates. This end mill is primarily aimed at finishing in harder steels where the increased core thickness maximizes stability and resistance to deflection when cutting these harder materials. For finishing operations, the equal pitch geometry on these tools tends to give smooth surface finishes where there isn't as much concern for harmonics and chatter being generated with these lighter cuts. But like the HEPM, this tool pulls chips out of the cutting zone with its 45-degree helix while simultaneously reducing the cutting loads in these harder materials. The HEHM is built for confidence-inspiring finishing in harder steels. If you're using HaasTooling.com end mills to cut aluminum right now, chances are you're pretty happy about the value proposition. And these two APX end mills focus on delivering that same level of value while achieving maximum material removal. Let's look at the engineered elements that allow serious stock removal. We'll start with the HSAM2 cutter. Most shops processing aluminum these days are using 3-flute tools, and this 3-flute cutter follows that performance trend. But it's got some extra tech up its sleeve. Tech like ultra micrograin carbide, unique flute design, and extra corner protection, all of which yield excellent tool life at high feed rates. Then add on cylindrical lands, polished flutes, and an engineered chip pathway, which work together to reduce cutting forces and vibration while maintaining excellent chip flow and evacuation. Right now, we have these shorter length of cut tools available. These are all about maximum rigidity while cutting at full depth in the workpiece. And soon, we'll be adding regular length and long flute versions to the lineup. Right now, this APX tool is only marginally more expensive than its more value-oriented brother. So if you need maximum material removal, check out these hogging machines. And finally, check out its 2-flute counterpart, the HSAM3. If there are times when a 2-flute end mill is giving you the kind of performance you're looking for, particularly if you do lots of slotting, then this APX 2-flute will allow you to push that performance envelope as far as possible. Look at the polish on the flutes here. And this tool has all the technical improvements that you'll find on the 3-flute tool. Cut the chips and evacuate the chips. That is what this tool is all about. Our APX line of end mills is here and ready to give you reliable endurance at maximum material removal rates. Check out these max effort tools and the rest of our lineup now at HaasTooling.com.